come to this happy place, welcome.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejados de
Cause
las
this here's
puertas.
a wild ride in the woods.
So today on Miles from Main Street, we're just talking. We had some stuff put together, but through technical difficulties, we didn't really want to mess with all of that. So we are just talking. We have hit record. We're actually mid conversation. So that'll be, you guys will be super confused. No, we'll explain everything. But we're just talking. It's a fun talk that we thought you guys should be listening to.
So what's happened is, as you guys have probably noticed, Michaela's been pretty busy this summer, and as summer goes, schedules get kind of crazy, and we haven't really had the time to talk. So we fumbled around with technical issues for a while here, and then we were about ready to throw it away and say, forget it. We'll do this another day. And just started kind of chatting a little bit. And so we finally decided to hit record, and you guys win because of this. I think, hopefully. Yeah.
Anyways, we were talking about, to bring you guys up to speed, we were talking about the new Magicband Pluses. We talked about watching some of the videos of some of the vloggers going through things, and we were talking about the game in Batu that you can play, the Bounty Hunter game, which looks really, really cool. I saw a couple of videos of Tim and Adam the Woo playing this game, and I mentioned that I think with these games, it's very cool. You go to different points in the park, and you try to capture people. You're a bounty hunter, and you get points for that. And there's a door. There's like a special door that you go, and you actually put your hand in, and they scan your hand. Really, it's just scanning your Magicband, and then they give you the credits. I thought it looked really cool. It is kind of a time suck. It looks like it could take a lot of your time. And so kind of just talking with Kristen, we were like, maybe we'll do it once or twice and then kind of move on with our day. So it does seem like a kind of local centric thing. But yeah, that's pretty much what where we ended on. But
and
yeah,
this is where I jumped in and I said, so if you guys haven't listened to the Disney Dish with Jim Hill before, they do a lot of speculating, and they also have a lot of inside information from cast members and Imagineers that they've talked to over the years. So you have to take everything with a grain of salt, but Jim was saying that the other parks are really looking at this Batu Hunters thing, drooling and saying, give me, because it is a time suck. And so if you guys remember the old Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom game that was in the Magic Kingdom, I mean, it took up time there. And as they've been adding capacity back to the park, they're really missing that game. And so, he was saying, like I said, these other parks want that stuff. So you got to think that these Magicband Pluses are the next thing. And, if you guys have done the Phineas and Ferb scavenger hunt over in Epcot, or the Sorcerer's thing, or any of those games that they've had that, that's the next thing that they want. This is stuff that takes time. It keeps you away from the rides, maybe. And then, that keeps, it's more things to do.
And I was kind of talking about, when I went to Universal, is that? Yeah, Universal. I had a brain fart just now, if that's actually where it is. When I went to Universal to Harry Potter Land, they kind of have that same thing going on with wands. And just the way that they have it set up is there's just all these different points where if you you point your wand in a certain way, then it makes something happen in the land. That we spent as soon as we got our wands, we spent a good 15 to 20 minutes just doing that. But then that's the thing, is that like they're all over the park. Well, they're all over the 2 Harry Potter lands. But I mean, yeah, like we would go to like different spots and see how to, like, what we could do to make the wands happen, and like it was cool, and it was like a little bit of a time suck for like what we were doing, but we enjoyed it. We had fun.
And we did a lot of the Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom stuff because they had like trading cards that we would collect. My son was really into it. He loved playing the game. So when we would go on like It's a Small World or something that he wasn't interested in, meeting princesses, then he would go and play the game, and it would take him a good 20 minutes to a half an hour to get through one round of the game. But then like each land had that game. So, you could spend a good 4 hours playing the game if you wanted to get leveled up to the next level. And to complete a whole game would take you a few days. So, it's something that people were able to come back and do. And I'm thinking it doesn't look like Batu Bounty Hunter, whatever it's called. I don't think that is going to be something that takes a few days to complete. I think this is something that you can spend an hour and a half, and then have that have that time done. But, and there's an hour and a half you're not spending in line, and maybe that shortens lines up in the rest of the park.
Yeah, I can see it being very fun. It doesn't, I mean, from what I understand, there is no like end game to it, other than I think eventually they're going to have like a leaderboard or something that like you'll see like who's got the most credits or something. I don't know. Maybe they won't even do anything like that. Maybe it's just like you go and you get credits, and then you can just build all these credits. Somebody did say somewhere, they were like, can you redeem these credits for anything? And I think that would be not like tangible things, obviously, but it would be cool to like be able to like redeem those credits for like the same way that you can get, I think it's like a pin or something at the World Showcase for like doing like the snack, like snacks around the world or something like that. There are a couple of things that you can do at World Showcase where like you go around and you like get a get a snack, and then you get like they check it off, and then at the end you get like another snack. That's what I've seen. But I mean, yeah, that's probably honestly what it's gonna turn into. But like, I mean, they've got a bunch of other ways to go with it. But it looks like it's gonna be fun.
Isn't that Emil's fromage montage right now? I think like you go and eat a bunch of cheese, and then they'll give you more cheese at the end.
I have no idea. All I know, I think the one that I'm thinking of is like World Showcase. I swear it's like a snacks around the world. I don't know what it's called.
Well, yeah, they do one for every festival. So right now it's Emil's fromage montage. Like they have 7 different, I think it's 7. It might be more than that. Different like cheese dishes. So when you go to a booth and you have that dish, you have them mark off your card.
Yeah.
And like you can have the same dish 5 times if you wanted. And then you go and you turn it in at the Redeemer booth, wherever that might be. And I think for Flower and Garden, there was a special cup that the snack, whatever the free snack was for completing it.
Yeah.
It came in a special cup that you could only get there.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I think that's what I've seen. But yeah, it could be something like that. And I like those, just kind of like seeing. But that's the thing, is that like I don't know how much time I would feel like I could devote to some of these things. So maybe those smaller ones, like the ones at Epcot that involve eating snacks, I'd be more apt to do, just because it's like that's something that I'm going to be doing at Epcot anyways, is eating snacks. And so if I can get another free snack because I ate snacks, that sounds amazing. But yeah, I hopefully that I can't think of anything that you can do at Magic Kingdom like this.
Not right now. Sorcerers they had, and I know, like, according to Jim Hill anyway, like, this is something that everybody's wanting.
Anyways, so just kind of keeping this going, I found some sandals today. We're going to talk about footwear. I found some sandals, not today, but I found some sandals a while ago that I wanted to try out, and I was going to use them as park sandals. And they're actually those, like, the plastic Birkenstocks, because people always talk about how, like, great Birkenstocks are. And so I decided to kind of give those a try. And the idea was that I was going to get them for rain, because, like, if it's raining, like, you don't want shoes that are going to get wet and just be soggy. So it's always a good idea to have some sort of rainproof footwear. And so that was my idea, was to get those, and those will be my rainy day footwear. But I mean, like, one thing to understand about Birkenstocks that I didn't really know was they have super high arches. And I think that's, like, people are always like, oh yeah, they feel so great, so they're very comfortable. And I have, like, not very high arches. I don't have, like, flat feet. I used to always think I had flat feet, but I have, like, medium arches. Like, whenever I get any type of shoe with, like, a medium arch, or I think the arch supports that I get for my hockey skates are, like, medium arch insoles. And, like, those are the only thing that make my feet feel halfway decent in ice skates, are those, like, medium insoles. So I kind of, like, thought that was going to be an issue right away. And so I was wearing them, and I was like, oh, I just have to, like, break them in. So, like, probably, like, the first day I had a little bit of rubbing, but I was like, okay, like, that's going to be normal. Like, I just have to break them in. And I put, this is another big tip, body glide. Like, if there's any kind of rubbing on your body or on your feet or anything when you're in the park, bring body glide and apply that to wherever doesn't feel good, because it's gonna help. I just apply it places that I know are gonna rub anyways, because I just don't want it to happen right away. But your feet's one of them. You can definitely apply that to your feet. So I put body glide on my feet, and then kind of went out and walked around with them for a little bit, and they felt better. And so now I've just been using them as, like, house shoes, and just, like, going out to, like, walk the dog or something like that a little bit. But today I actually wore them for, like, a longer period of time, and I've already had them for, like, maybe 2 weeks, and I've worn them a good amount. Like, I've worn them enough that the left shoe, the left sandal, the Birkenstock logo is, like, pretty much rubbed off. So it's like I've worn them a good amount, and they feel a lot more broken in. And my biggest thing about these when I bought them was, like, oh, if they chafe my feet, like, I'm definitely not going to use them, because like that's what can happen. Like, in a long Disney day is, like, things rub and then things hurt. But they hadn't been chafing my feet because I hadn't worn them for a long period of time. Come today, I wore them for a while, and they chafed the crap out of my right foot.
Oh no.
And I was just kind of like, these were going to be my rainy day sandals and everything. And I was just like, I'm not going to use these, because I'm not going to I mean, I'll use them for, like, other things, but I'm definitely not going to use them in a park. Like, you have to be very particular about what you put on your feet when you go into a park.
Okay, Mikhailo, tell me you didn't listen to the last episode without telling me you didn't listen to the last episode.
I didn't listen all the way through it.
So if you missed the last episode, Tammy was on, and she and I talked about footwear and, like, covered, like, a lot of this. And we talked about I'm sorry. We talked about breaking in your shoes and making sure you don't, chafe on your shoes or whatever. You don't want blisters on your feet when you go to Disney World. So I'm sorry for the rehashing for those of you that do listen to the show, Mikhailo.
Welcome to Miles from Main Street. Here, we only talk about water and shoes. That's all we talk about.
That's all we talk about. Water and shoes.
Anyways,
yeah.
Anyways,
So anyway,
yeah.
this is like perfect example of when you need to be worried about your shoes.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm always worried about my shoes, for Disney. So, so today I took those off and I put on Crocs because I was like, you know what? Crocs are like the tried and true. Like I just love Crocs. They feel amazing. They never chafe anything. And I had been seeing Crocs at Dick's Sporting Goods. And they had that same look as Birkenstocks, but I just had never seen them like in men's sizes. And so finally I was like, you know what? Screw it. Like I'm going to look online and I'm going to buy a pair. And I actually went online and they're pretty cheap. They were only around like $25.
Oh, wow.
I know. I was surprised too. I think it's because they're not selling well. I think that's possible because I don't think they sell well at Dick's. But yeah, I found them for like pretty cheap and just pulled the trigger on them. I was like, yeah, let's do this. And they're Crocs, so it's like they're probably gonna feel amazing. So I'm excited about that.
So if you've ridden Cali River Rapids, you've come off the ride, and they have like that kiosk as you come off of shoe wear, right? Like, dang it, I should not have worn these shoes on Cali River Rapids. Now my feet are all wet. Hey, Mickey here has a $50 pair of shoes for you to wear that are dry.
Perfect.
Perfect. So that didn't necessarily happen to me, but we came off the ride and there's this kiosk of shoes, and they had Crocs. They were brown. They weren't the clogs that everybody is wearing now, but they I think they're the same thing that you were talking about, where they're like sandals, right? Like
Yeah.
they have the Croc sole, but they have like, I don't know, cloth or leather or whatever it is that they have over the top. And then they have little Mickeys on the I don't know if it's an axle or whatever, like where, because it still has like a,
I think those are called widgets. The little tiny things that go into the holes.
no,
Is that what you're talking about?
Those are giblets.
Giblets, not widgets. Yeah.
The this is like around your ankle, like where the transition is, you know, on the clog it's where that flap that goes around your ankle can go up and down.
Yeah, that's sport mode.
But like they what?
It's called sport mode. You've never heard that?
Oh, no. I've
Yeah.
never heard that.
when you put the back thing on, that's sport mode. That's when you know
Sport-
things
oh.
are serious.
Okay. Things are getting real, huh?
Oh yeah.
I have no idea. I don't wear Crocs, obviously. As I said last week, my preferred pair of shoes is a pair of flip-flops. That's what I prefer to wear at the parks, but I've had issues with them since then, as I've gotten older, as I said last week. But anyway, these have like Mickeys on them, and I thought they were really cool, so I bought them. And I'm finding that I need to wear socks with them because for whatever reason, and maybe it's just my tender feet need to be in these shoes more often, but all those little nubbies that they put on top of the sole, they irritate the bottom of my foot.
Yep.
So by the end of the day, I'm like, get these dang things off of me, right? Like, I can't stand it. And it's not like I'm chafing or anything. It's just that it's irritated somehow, and I need to get it. I can't wear them a full day.
You would really dislike, I think it's Adidas sandals, those ones that like it's it's like
I know what you're
like
talking about.
the little tiny gel like
you're walking
pieces.
on a bed of nails.
Exactly. That's what they're like. But yeah, it's these are the types of things that I like to get super critical about when I'm about to go to Disney, which I am 36 days away from going to Disney. So like I'm right in that sweet spot where it's like I like really would like to plan things and get things put together, but like I don't have to. Like future Kylo will definitely be onto that, but like right now we're kind of like putting together outfits of like what we're gonna wear at each park. So today was kind of like a footwear thing. Like we went out trying to look at like new shoes, and I didn't really have I wasn't planning on getting new shoes because I had already bought the Birkenstocks, but we found out that today that they're not gonna work. So hopefully I've found something. But I like to do one pair of like regular shoes, because like if you can wear regular shoes, and then one pair of shoes that can get wet.
And that's what we had said last week too, was take even a pair of those like plastic flip flops that are basically walking on cardboard. But maybe I need to try to wear those Croc shoes a little more and see if I can. I don't know. I'm gonna go crazy with them. I already have. Like, I don't want to get rid of them, but I also want to wear them. Like,
some people honestly, some people swear by them in the parks, and Disney's
they do.
I
see it online all the time.
Yeah, Disney's gotten into the Croc game too, where like their Croc has like partnered with Disney, and they have. I mean, I've got Crocs with little Mickeys in them. So yeah, it's got to be a thing, and I think that's part of the reason. And you know what's funny is I have yet to wear a pair of Crocs. Oh no, that's not true. I wore a pair of Crocs, a couple of trips ago, for one day, and it was totally fine. Like I didn't have any issues with walking around in them.
Yeah, and like you said, they're super comfortable. It's just those nubbies, like, they drive me nuts. I don't know.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that's a thing that I don't know. Like, they all have them. They all have those on the bottom of them. So maybe it's just your feet aren't used to stuff like that. So
yeah, maybe.
Yeah. But I am right now kind of looking at clothing to wear there. Kristen and I, we're going to be dressing up for Mickey's Not So Scary, because we're going to that. And so we have a pretty fun ensemble that we're putting together for that, which is pretty cool. But we've also been kind of like trying to put together some like outfits to wear at all the other parks. And one thing that we're finding is if you go on to Etsy, like, they have a lot of really fun and really like decently cheap t-shirts about Disney. I think one of the cool ones that we're getting like Tower of Terror t-shirts that just like have like the Tower of Terror logo just like on the side of the t-shirt, and then it's got like a bunch of writing on the back. But yeah, it's just like fun stuff like that. Kristen got a tank top that has this is actually kind of funny. One of the days we're gonna go mini golfing, and Kristen got a tank top that the pocket is Spaceship Earth, and then I got a t-shirt that says it's not a golf ball, and we're gonna go mini golfing with all of that stuff on.
That's awesome.
and in the words, it's actually Spaceship Earth of it's a golf ball. So we're gonna match. We're gonna look super cute, and what we're doing is going to be funny because we're gonna be mini golfing with Spaceship Earth stuff.
I've been telling Mikhailo this for a while. Like, you darn childless millennials. It's hard to keep up with you guys. Yeah, I think that golf ball thing is awesome. That's gonna be fun. I've never gone on Etsy like ever, but I've been on there a lot lately. We talked about the sabak thing a couple weeks ago. And I bought some Batuan Spira that was handmade on Etsy. It's clear acrylic used from a laser cutter, and so I've been messing around with that lately. But we got a new cabinet up in our living room, and part of the reason that we got it is that we were looking for like an end table type of thing. So we want to be able to put drinks on it. So we had to order coasters, right? Well, off to Etsy we go. I'm never on Etsy, but here we go again. Yeah, so off to Etsy we go, and we get some coasters, and of course we ended up getting Haunted Mansion ones because Haunted Mansion's the best.
As you do.
As you do. But yeah, like, I've never been on Etsy as much as I've been on there lately. We just finished redoing a part of our landscaping in our backyard, and so we're trying to find new things to decorate back there. We're on Etsy. Like, and if anyone's looking for garden stuff, or if anybody has some garden stuff that they want to add in, or send me, I'd be happy to see it. But I cannot find anything that's more than like 14 inches tall to decorate this space. And we're like, I do have a 2.5 foot Mickey Mouse that needs to get cleaned up or fixed that we're gonna put out there. But everything else, like I have Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, but it's like they're 10 inches tall. They'll get lost in this space that we have.
Yeah, we're actually kind of doing that same thing. Just today, we were looking at like those path lights, and Kristen was kind of like, "Oh, I wonder if they have any like Disney path lights." So we've looked at a couple places. I mean, Amazon's always kind of like our first look, but we're not really seeing much. They have some cool firework path lights that are pretty cool, but yeah, we haven't really found anything in like garden stuff. But we had all that stuff planted maybe about like a month ago, so we're new to actually having landscaping. But one thing that we are looking for, and this kind of takes us back to my trip that I'm taking and me getting ready for it.
And when is that?
It's in 36 days.
36 days. Okay, so you heard that, guys, right? You need to get your merch orders in 36 days.
Yes, let me know. But we are looking into using a different type of bag as our park bag. And Brian, you might have some thoughts on this. But this is kind of there's a reason. There's definitely a reason why we're doing this. But we're looking for like a smaller like sling bag, like a bag that like is smaller and it slings over one shoulder. Though, like, we're looking for something like that just because like we want something smaller, but we want to also still be able to like store like a water bottle and like ponchos and like all of the other things that we might need. But just a smaller bag.
So my friend Christina just got me on this new Facebook group, and it's Garage Sale Disney. Be very careful on this one. And I mean, it's exactly what it sounds like. Everybody is, selling their wares out on this group. And I just saw this tonight as we were working through our technical issues. Somebody is selling a sling bag like you're talking about. I think it was Vera Bradley, and they were from Madison.
What?
I did a double take because it said Kristen on it, but it was not you guys. So, maybe after we get done here, we can go back to that. But I think it was a Vera Bradley sling bag. I'm not very well versed on them. I do know because I was at a concert the other night, working concessions with my daughter, who is 16, and of course the fashion guru that I expect her to be. I kept seeing people wearing fanny packs like a crossbody.
Yeah, that's a thing.
And I said, why is she wearing it like that? And she'll just be like, well, it's the thing right now. It's cute.
To be honest, the inventor of that is Stanley Hudson, and he put a slice of pizza in it.
Like, who's Stanley Hudson? Are you talking like
Oh
The
my
Office?
goodness, really? Yeah, Stanley Hudson from The Office.
I never knew his last name.
It's I guess the inventor of it was whoever made the pyramid, but it was they actually had those like across their body, and it was a little triangle, and it was where you're supposed to put your pyramid, but he put a slice of pizza in it.
I don't know what you mean by pyramid. I don't even know what that is. See,
the pyramid was, I think that was like something that, what was that company called that bought Saber? It was something that Saber was coming out with, and it was supposed to be just like an iPad in the shape of a pyramid. And so yeah. For a while they were trying to sell that, and one of the utilities was like one of those things. Like a fanny pack that was shaped as a triangle, but Stanley put a piece of pizza in it. And I always thought that was funny.
Wait, are you telling me that the entire fanny pack craze can be traced back to The Office?
That's not real. That's fake news, possibly. But I think, yes, we could totally, like, those are the correlations that I am drawing right now.
I wish you guys could see him right now, because he's actually like pointing in a pyramid type of
unlock the power of the pyramid. Yeah, but yeah, that's definitely a craze right now, and that's something that we like talked about, but we definitely need more. We need more room than just a fanny pack. If that was the case, we'd just wear fanny packs. But yeah, we definitely need more room than that. So I think.
So what are you looking for that you want something different?
Okay. This is the reason that we're doing it. I'll give you that, and it's because on our last trip we rode Space Mountain several times. One of the times I was like fighting with the backpack because it has to like go somewhere, and those ride vehicles are actually very tight, and like there's not that much space to put stuff, and so I've always just taken the backpack and like put it under my feet, and like it was kind of like sitting there a little weird, and like the whole time I thought I was gonna like drop this backpack, and it's because we just like had all this stuff in the backpack, and it was like a bigger backpack. We didn't really have that much stuff in it, but it was just a bigger backpack that we had, and I just kept thinking that I was going to drop this backpack. So that's kind of what got me thinking, like, I think we should try a smaller park bag. Also, I have pictures of us, and like we could put the bag down, but I have pictures of us like hugging, and like the backpack is like up over my head because like my arms are up. But just kind of like trying to cut down on like having a big bulky backpack there with us, but still having that ability to like have a water bottle and have our ponchos and like have all of those essentials with us in the park.
Yeah, I don't know.
We found, unless we do this Vera Bradley one, we found a pretty decent one on Amazon for like $15. So like, I think we're going to go with something like that. But if Brian sends us this cool Vera Bradley sling bag that he found, that might be our park bag.
And I didn't really look at it that closely, but it could be cool. Could be awesome.
Yeah.
I got the Sabak game I play, they have a league that I'm a part of, and somebody created a vinyl of their logo that I put on the car. So I did that. I got it yesterday, put it on the car yesterday, and I don't expect anyone in the wild to be like, oh my gosh, you play Sabak, that's so cool. But because there's only, I don't know, maybe 700 people countrywide in this. But like I go, hey, kid of mine, check this out. And, they kind of look at me and shake their head like, so what? So here I am being lonely in my geekdom.
Yeah, I do that too with sometimes I'll see like a monorail as my second car or something like that, stickers and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, Disney people. And I mean, the inner Wisconsin boy in me wants to like get up next to him and be like, Disney, and like have them be like, we know, and like that's like a dream exchange. That'd be awesome. But I don't really have anything on my car. I mean, I have a bunch of D23 magnets that I could put on my car, which I probably should. But I love that. I love seeing like other people that are Disney people kind of out in the wild and kind of meeting with them. We'd love people to share this podcast out and have just like a big like Midwest like meeting, or like some kind of like place where like all of us Midwest people could like talk about being from the Midwest and being Disney people. We've talked about that a couple times and kind of hinted at like trying to like start something, because I don't think there's really anything out there that's too like established that's like a Midwest Disney fan type thing.
Yeah, I keep trying to think of different ways to market our podcast and just to help us grow and whatever, like every podcast tries to do. And, you know, like I was like, oh, maybe we should get into conventions and like a Disney convention. There used to be a bunch of them around. And so I went looking, like, you know, it's the middle of the summer. I started looking around. We've got half the year left. The closest Disney convention is a 6-hour 1-day deal in Pennsylvania. I'm like, well, that's not going to work. So I think it would be great if we could have a Disney convention in our area. And, you know, I used to do one, a Pez convention. If anyone knows what Pez is, I'll make the symbol. Can you guys see the motion of a Pez?
The motion that he's making is just terrible. I can't believe
it's kind of like lighting a lighter, you know, like
yeah, that's what you're doing.
Yeah. That's people go, oh yeah, Pez, you know, like you tilt the head back and take out a piece of candy thing. Yeah, that thing.
Ooh, piece of candy.
I was in that fandom for 20 years, and I mean, some of the greatest people you'd ever meet are Pez collectors. So, but anyway, I ran a convention. I'd love to run another one that's Disney. So it's something we've talked about, you know, guys, share with people, let everyone know that what we want to do. I think that would be a lot of fun if we could do that. You know, it get people in the Midwest interested.
And I always love that kind of like feeling of family where it's like we all, and that's like what it's felt like whenever we are on other podcasts and whenever we're just kind of like around other Disney people. And we've kind of talked about that a little bit. Like, what do you think the percentage of people like at Disney World are like actual like Disney adults, or like what is it like how often is like do you come across somebody like that like at Disney World? I think that the percentage is probably pretty high just because of like all the Disney adults that I see, although it's like things like Facebook and TikTok, it's just like all pretty much golf and Disney. Those are the things that I see the most, because it's the algorithms figured me out. But yeah, it's something that like we kind of want to bring people together and like bring people in and talk about these things and just kind of have like a sense of community with stuff. So even if it's just like somebody else makes it and we jump on there and we talk about stuff, I think it would be great.
You know, and it's what I found with my Pez convention that I ran. It wasn't necessarily the convention itself that was the fun part about it, and what people really enjoyed about it. It's the night before. It's the day, you know, the night after, when you're sitting in a hotel room and you have a bunch of other people that are in that hotel room come and hang out with you, and you guys just kind of get to relax, talk Disney, not worry about Disney. Because like when you're at a convention, like, you know, and when we were doing the Pez stuff, even myself, I'm walking around to the vendors to check in, see how they're doing, see how things are going, but I'm also looking at their merchandise. Like, and if you're just attending it, that's what you're doing. You're like, oh, do I need to go buy that? Should I be doing this? You know, you get together at the end of the night. One of the things we did was there was always a core group of us that stayed in that hotel for a couple of nights. And we would always go out to dinner the night after the convention, because I pretty much just ran a 1-day thing. We'd go out to dinner, we just relax, get to talk, get to know each other personally. And, you know, that's the part. If you've never been to a convention, that's the fun part about it. It's not necessarily the go, but it's getting away from that and getting to know those people. So, I think it'd be awesome if we can get Melissa to get us a block at a hotel somewhere. We can do Melissa Pilgrim, get that set up, and then we can do some fun and games during the day, and then go out and relax and party, and I think that'd be a lot of fun.
When you were talking about this, all I could think about was like, after you've done the Disney things and then you're hanging out at some barbecue restaurant that doesn't actually have barbecue.
Yes, we could do the convention, and then we could have a meat smoking thing.
Basically, the convention Brian wants to have is the smoked meats convention.
Yeah. That's really what I'm doing this for, is to get people smoking more meat.
I mean, Disney and smoked meats. I mean, they really go hand in hand.
I'm doing turkey legs for the party. All right, that it's done. We're doing turkey legs.
However,
all you haters that are on Facebook telling me you don't like turkey legs, you're eating turkey legs that night.
If you don't like turkey legs, you just don't like joy. That's not true. But and it's funny that I say Disney and smoked meats go hand in hand. There is that new smoke. I mean, it's not really new, but there's that new restaurant in the American Pavilion at Epcot that is all smoked meats, which I haven't tried yet. I really should.
Good.
But yeah, that's
they do
all
a
I
great
hear
job there.
is how good it is.
It's good. Not just the meat, but the sides that they have. They have really good stuff. Yeah. We spent an hour there one day. It was like kind of one of those moments where my kids needed a break. And we just sat down and relaxed for an hour and ate a bunch of good food. So, definitely check that place out, people. I mean, why not? That's an American tradition.
American tradition. Anyways, we've talked with each other and talked at you for long enough, and we've talked about sharing the podcast. That will definitely help us. But yeah, I think it's been a fun night with my buddy Brian. I've talked about a few things and rehashed some things, but I think it was fun.
I'll leave one last call to action, guys. Please go out and share this and leave us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts. Easily send people straight to our website, www.milesfrommaineST.com.
Yeah, that sounds like pretty sound advice right there, Brian. But, like we always say, some live close,
but others don't.
So let's talk about it. We'll see you next time on Miles from Main Street.